All right, what's the tail of the tape for you, man? What's Coach Jerideau weighing right now? What's the measuring tape for you?
Coach Jerideau was weighing 295 pounds.
All right, all right. What's the heaviest you ever played at?
The heaviest I played at was coming out of junior college. I was pushing 370. It was about 375 when I got to South Carolina for my first day on campus.
So what the strength coach at the time was Coach
Fitz. Coach Fitz, who
Fitz. Again
for at University of Tennessee.
Yeah, Coach Fitz is a guy who has a couple different nicknames depending upon who you ask. But what did Coach Fitz say when he saw you step on that scale at 375? Did he say?
He's like, damn, But I mean, because obviously, sometimes when you put your highlight tapes out, this is almost like when recruits come out now. You don't know what they weigh until you actually see them, until you get them here on campus for a camp, because people might put different heights, different weights, but I definitely didn't have 360 on there.
Didn't have 360 on there. So would you eventually scale it back to once the season started?
So when the season started, that's a big reason why I really didn't play. My first year at South Carolina was because of my weight, and I didn't have the stamina, to sustain through 4 quarters of SEC football. So, I really honed in, and Coach Brad Loin, who's my D-line coach, he stayed on me hard. I mean, about everything, by cutting back on the Gatorades and the sweets and all that. And there was actually an article in the state paper, about how I lost a lot of weight, and I got down to 330 pounds. Like, that was my playing weight. It was 330. And, that was a big factor, from Coach Loin and the pressure that he put on me to get it done, because it wasn't just about football, about, being able to play, but it was a health thing as far as living. You don't want to have a heart attack, you don't want to have diabetes and, things like that. So it's about having a healthy lifestyle so that you can live a long time.
Damn, man, I'm even thinking about this now. You had no rest for the weary, because Coach Loin is also a dude who don't play that. And then, of course, he's an old country guy himself. And, his Southern draw and all that can be funny at times, but when it's annoying, it's really annoying at times. So, hearing it all the time. Did Coach Loin run around there and say, man, you're fat. Like, what's going on with you, man? Like, your fat ass ain't never going to play, man. Like, what's going on? Like, was he giving you the blues for that?
He was giving me a hard time every day. He's giving me a hard time. And that was motivation for me. Not only to get on the field, but to, have a healthy lifestyle and to, just be able to play, really.
Right.
He was not like, he would be like, no, like, it would be periods at practice where I would just be, doing board drill or doing, different things to lose weight, cardio wise. And I would do extra cardio before practice, after practice. And I made it a habit, to do those things so that I could get on the field.
What was the cardio at the time? Was it the Stairmaster? Was it the Def Stairmaster? Was it
everything? A little bit of Stairmaster, a little bit of elliptical, a little bit of treadmill, the rower, everything. I was hitting everything.
So a lot of output, but it always comes back to, as you know, the input, man. So like, here's Preston chiming in here now. Yeah. All of it comes back to the input, because yeah, you can kill yourself on that Stairmaster for 2 hours and wipe it away in 10 minutes, going to Bernie's or doing whatever, man. So when did you make the shift for the input to make that change?
I would say spring of my junior. My junior. It was spring of my junior year. So after my first season was over, and I realized, how much I didn't touch the field and how much of that was like my fault. It was nobody's fault but my own. And I really honed in that spring, and I changed my body.
Yeah. So instead of like just like white knuckling it for you, because this is probably a better question to get back there, and we'll circle back. But like, did you just get like straight meat and veggies? You cut out the fried foods? I mean, what was it? Just you just stopped eating and just went to like a bowl of soup a day? What was it, man? Because it's so much.
Because you have to have protein, and to keep your strength. I was always a strong guy. I was always a heavy lifter. It was just cutting things back. Sugars and sweets and carbs and, you know, bad things that you put in your body. It's just, it sits there, you know?
Yeah.
And that's something that helped me, you know, to this day. You know, that's why I'm the lightest I am now at 295 pounds. You know, sometimes I look back like, man, what if I would have played at 295 pounds? You know, how much better would I have been? And that's, you know, part of why I got into strength and conditioning, was because I understand the impact of that it has on the athletes, and how if they really hone in early and lock into nutrition, to strength, to, you know, taking care of their body, how, you know, they can play a long time.
Right. And that's an interesting deal, because you talk about you always being strong. Like I remember seeing the videos of you just putting up the whole damn weight room,
Yeah.
squatting, doing all this stuff. And, you know, was there a point where you try to equate being strong with being big? Like you didn't see like, man, and if I'm lighter, I can't be stronger. And I think that's a big misnomer for a lot of guys, because they equate just being big with being strong. And that's not always the case.
Yeah, it's not always the case. I mean, you can be strong and still be fast. You know, you can
Yeah.
be big, you know, and still play, but you have to have the stamina to sustain, you know?
Yeah, stamina is a big deal, and that's one thing I learned, because I remember my first year, and nobody told this to me, but I got it in my mind somewhere that, man, you got to be 300 pounds. But I never played at 300 pounds in high school, right? And then so I packed the 300 pounds on, and then of course she put the pads on top of that. So now we probably at 315, 320. You know, it's soggy outside and it's humid, so you got about 2 pounds in your shoe, just, you know, with a wet shoe or something like that. So like, you know, trying to lose the stamina, I mean, it makes, you know, fatigue make coward of us all. And so all of that stuff that makes you an elite dude, a lot of us just always get that mistake that, you know, just being bigger doesn't always equate to being better, doesn't always equate to being a more dominant football player. You got to move that body weight and do that stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, so to get to 375 junior college, what the hell was you down there eating, man? Because if you know, I mean, again, God bless y'all who come out of junior college. You know, it's not glamorous. It's not, the town isn't that glamorous. The money ain't glamorous. You there for really pretty much one mission. How did you go from being there? Because what did you report at when you got down there? Was you around like
that's about I was up there. I was around 340, 350, you know,
okay.
coming out of high school. And I know my freshman year of high school, I was about 300, because I wrestled my freshman year, and I think it was 285 was a heavyweight limit. And, you know, I had to lose weight my freshman year for that. But then I was always thinking I need to gain weight for football, you know, in the off season. So I stopped wrestling after my sophomore year of high school, just because I was, you know, it was going to be very tough to get that weight off and, you know, gain it back. But now I look at it, I really didn't even have to gain it back. But, you know, I went to Fort Scott Community College in Kansas, and, you know, the meals were, you know, terrible, honestly. You know, I mean, JUCO is JUCO. You know, down the hall is not going to be, it's nothing like it is here, and that's nothing like it is, you know, anywhere at any other, you know, D1 school. But, you know, it was a lot of McDonald's. There was a lot of Taco Bell. You know, we didn't have a kitchen or anything where we can cook on our own. So, you know, it was just a lot of fast food. And I feel like the fast food played a huge part on me gaining a lot of weight. You know, me and some of my buddies would, you know, we were trying to lose it. We knew we were heavy, but we would, you know, put on go to Walmart, and they had like the sweat jacket, you know, the plastic bag or whatever you could put on, and we just do running, just trying to lose water weight. But at the end of the day, that's not the way to do it. You know, you have to eat healthy and put good things in your body, and, you know, burn out the bad calories in order to lose that weight and still keep your muscle somewhere.
Yeah. And it's really tough because, and I think that's a great point what you bring up, talking about like fast food, because one, it's, you know, you can live off the dollar menu. You know, if you got $20, that can take you, and this is probably something you can talk about here a little bit later, but like living off the dollar menu, you can make that money stretch, but then also convenience, but then also kind of always equated to like, you know, nostalgia and different things. Like anytime you went to a fast food restaurant, McDonald's, Burger King, whatever, it meant a good time when you were younger. So if you out there in junior college and then you're already away from home, struggling. You might be alone. You're trying to figure out which way. Like all of that works for you at the time. And to your point, you knew you needed to be losing the weight. You knew you were heavy, but still, man, I got to go over there and get some food because I got to eat every day. Then you're getting it from the fast food, so you're getting it quick. So like talk about how convenience and fast food and all of that stuff is just really a mind trick versus getting quality food versus quick food.
It is, and I feel like you get what you pay for, and like you said, with the dollar menu, yeah, it's convenient. You can get a value fry, a 2 double cheeseburgers and a shake, for under $5. But when you go get a salad, it's 10, it's 12, it's $13, right?
Yeah.
It might seem like a lot, but for a kid in JUCO, when you're sitting there, trying to get a salad 5 days a week, it's going to cost you, So I feel like you get what you pay for, and you have to, it's not, you look at people who have really, really good diets and they get salads and fruit and all that stuff. Like that stuff is expensive. It's not cheap, compared to a bag of chips and some, things like that. So I feel like you really get what you pay for.
That's a good point. It's cheap. It's cheap in time because it don't cost a lot of time to pop open a bag of chips versus saying, okay, I want to starch. Let me boil the potato and bake them first, and then I can do it the healthy way. Or, let me try to, like, it's just so much of that. And those things are always kind of set up within there. And if you're kind of always coming from some place where, your parents are, working for everything and, you don't have a lot of waste. So, I mean, again, food becomes such a reward for that. I mean, was that a big deal for you when you were growing up, your household, how important was food, like Friday night pizzas and different things and changing up that mindset as you continue to grow older with that?
Yeah, I grew up, single mom. We had 3 boys and we didn't eat out a lot. My mom she was a big cooker,
mm-hmm.
but it's nothing against how I came up. But I mean, look, I'm from the low country of South Carolina.
All right. We all are.
Yeah, and we know you can speak for this as well, but I mean, a lot of people don't eat healthy down there.
Mm-mm.
It's fried this, it's, hog mogs and neck bone and all this, stuff that really isn't good for you.
Right.
When you look at all the grease in it and, things like that, I mean, it's just, you got to put the right things in your body.
When in doubt, man, you could always boil some rice, fry up an egg, and put
exactly.
And that's the thing is like you forget. And I remember like when I talk to some of my buddies and they're like, man, they're from the Midwest. They're like, man, I can't ever just say no to potatoes. I'm like, I don't got no problem saying no to potatoes. I don't got no problem saying no to bread. But like when we start talking this, cut this rice stuff out, like, man,
you're gonna have rice. You're gonna have white rice with every meal, just about every meal, you're gonna have some white rice with it. And you look back at it and you're like, man, like that, I'm to the point now where I rarely eat rice. I treat myself to it every now and then because you need carbs, good carbs. Like it's just like fats. You need good fats. You need, olive oils but there's different ways to get it besides vegetable oil. It's olive oil, it's avocados, it's things like that. So, getting in a strict conditioning really helped me understand the nutrition side of things and how there are good ways to eat and there are good things to put in your body. And it's okay, to treat yourself every now and then, I mean, I still have pizza, I still have things like that, but I'm the lightest of my life because 1, I work out every day, and 2, I don't eat bad every day,
That's the other thing is like so much of us run on autopilot with our habits, how we were raised. It was funny when you go up to these NFL teams and they're somewhere else and there's a bunch of like dudes in the South looking for a certain type of sausage or a certain type of rice. Those habits always travel and all those different things. And now you're talking about food. It comes back to education. And so again, figuring out what works for you, figuring out what fuels your body. Because again, I never would thought, 3 dudes on here would be shaking their heads when they start talking about good fats and avocado. I mean, never would have thought about that stuff. You think all fat is peanut oil or something like that. And that's a lot of stuff you have to overcome. So now as a coach, how difficult is that to try to get those patterns into the players coming in? Because again, not to their fault, they're doing the best that they can. Their parents are doing the best that they can. with what they have available. But how do you try to retrain them and get them to see that, man, you got to reach for this versus canola oil, or, take a bake option over this, or, man, have you tried arugula salad before?
Yeah. I'll say, it starts with the nutrition, and we have a great nutritionist here, Kristen Cognan, and, she really educates the guys on, things to eat, good things to eat, body weights and tracking their weight daily and staying on top of them. But more so, me personally, I can relate to the guys that have, weight loss issues or, goals that they want to get to, because I've been there. I've been in their shoes, and I've been in their shoes here, so I know what they have around the city. I know, good spots and bad spots to go to, and I can tell them, how to lose the weight, as far as, doing extra cardio and eating the right things, and, being mindful, thinking twice before they, put certain things in their body. Like, is it worth it? What do you want to get out of this? Like, do you want to go to the NFL? Do you want to, or do you want to just be here and wear the block C? If you want to get to the NFL, think about that, before you put something in your body. Think about it, because at the end of the day, every day, every decision you make affects, whether you're going to lose that weight or whether you're going to gain it. I see guys, drinking Gatorades and stuff. I'm like, hey, put that Gatorade down, man. Like, grab a Propel, grab a water. That's what I right here. Water, boom, Propel. Right here, because I don't even drink Gatorade. Just, I'm nothing against it, but if it's a weight loss guy, it's a bad thing for them putting their body. It's little things like that. Cutting back. Like me, for instance, I have a coffee. I used to pour the sugar in there. No, Splenda. No more sugar. No more sugar in my coffee. I put Splenda in my coffee every morning.
A lot of times, it's just that replication of flavor or texture, and so like Propel, like some of the other guys we talked to, Travell, like that was a real interesting thing he said about how he was able to lose 50, 60 pounds, but also maintain it. One of his tricks was he gets the Propel in the morning, so he gets that sensation of like sugar flavor, because obviously he's waking up, he's hungry, but like he's getting the water, but he's not getting the sugar. And so that kind of that takes the monkey off of his back.
Yeah.
I mean, all these little things.
Just imagine like let's say you put 2 teaspoons of sugar in your coffee every day, and then that adds up in a week.
Right.
There's a lot of sugar. And then let's say you take that out and cut that out. That alone, you can lose so much weight. So imagine if you do something else. Let me cut back. Instead of a cup of carbs, I'm going to go half a cup of carbs. Replace that carbs with, vegetables. Let's say you cut something else out, sweets or something like candy, cut candy out. Let me go sugar-free. These chips, let me go fat-free. Those things like that you can do, little things that might not seem like a big deal, but it plays a huge role.
Yeah, little things always add up. Those yardage, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, that type of stuff in football, that always adds up. So, and that's the thing I think you also has to always battle against us as being high achievers, guys who've done a lot, guys who've played. We want to do a lot relatively quickly. And so how do you kind of temper that with the guys who come in there? Because, a kid might come in there, Langston Moore, 2021 shows up. He's supposed to be this, but he's 50 pounds overweight. So he's motivated, but obviously was eating bad. So how do you try to temper expectations so the guy just doesn't just wash out in a couple of weeks and go full board the other way and just be like, man, forget this, man. I'm gonna just eat how I want to and not listen to them. How do you try to do that? I mean, how would you approach that with a big guy like that?
You just you set goals, weekly goals for the guy, but you're not gonna set a 10-pound a week goal. You set a 2 pound, a 2 pound, a 2 pound, maybe a 1 pound, just something moderate. And then you show them the end picture. And when they see the end picture and they see, okay, so you mean tell me by next year, I can lose this weight, because it's not going to happen overnight. And that's where you get the problems. When guys lose it too quick, guess what? It's probably water weight. They're dehydrated, and then their muscles are weak, and they lose strength, or they pull something. So you just explain to them that it's not going to happen overnight, and you just take it day by day, rep by rep, and look at the big picture. And everything's going to fall in place.
Go ahead, Pete.
But I hear you saying that day by day, but you telling me I got to do every single day to look how I want to look in a year? That's really tough. What are some skills or tactics that I can use to win every day, because I got to eat every day.
Yeah.
And so every time I got to eat, I have a chance to really, make the wrong decision. What can I do to fix that?
Eat the right things. At the end of the day, it's like, it's not, it's not going to happen overnight. But you have to buy in. Part of, being a D1, football athlete is you have to buy in, understand where you are, understand your goals, and achieve them. Like, everybody's going to have a goal, but it's just a matter of buying into your goal. Like, you have to buy in. You have to buy in. And if it means, every day controlling what you eat, every day, hitting extra cardio, every day, doing different things, then you have to do it, or, you're not, why are you here?
Yeah. But man, that sounds great. But I'm an old ex-Division I athlete, and I still weigh what I weighed 20 years ago. Even to your point, you hadn't played in a while, but something's in you to get you motivated. I don't know. And again, everybody's motivation is different. What's motivating you to eat the right stuff? Because you're the checker. Who checks the checker? You know what I'm saying? Like, who checks the scale guy? Like,
you talking about me personally?
Yeah, or any other former player who's kind of in our position, who's, that motivation to try to get it to, be Javon Kinlaw, and I might be a different player if I lose this 50 pounds and have more stamina, I can be a first round pick. But I'm not going to play football no more. So
I'm just going into the office tomorrow. So
how would you try to approach that if that was like your brother, or even for like yourself, some of those things that keep you going?
I would say start off your day getting on the scale. Get on the scale every day. Every morning, that's the first thing I do is get on the scale. And, based on that, I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. Or, oh man, I actually, I had that dinner last night and I probably had a little too many fries, but I'm gonna get that back. And, just working out every day. I say what motivates me is really just getting on the scale. Get on the scale. I hold myself accountable by weighing in every day. And, I've been maintaining at 295, probably 3 years ago when I was at Tennessee, I was like 315, so that was 20 pounds in 2 or 3 years that I just slowly got off, slowly. It didn't happen overnight, but it's like slowly, half a pound a week, some weeks I didn't move, but, just getting exercise. And what motivates me is just, looking in the mirror, I look in the mirror and I'm like, okay, I look good. It motivates me as people, who hadn't seen me in a while saying, man, you look good. What are you doing? And I tell them, like, I'm making little changes in my life to make sure that I live a long time.
Yeah.
A long time. And, it's funny because, in football, most people, when you're done playing, you either lose it or you gain it. And I always told myself I didn't want to be one of those people that gain it. I know I have some people who, I played with, and, you look at them, you're like, man, like, or some people that you see who play football and then after, they blow up. I always told myself that I wasn't, going to be that person.
Right. And that comes back to, knowing yourself. I think that's really important, of like, saying this to yourself. And it always is funny to me when, you see the guy who used to be the running back. Now he looks like the offensive lineman. You're like, damn, bro, what happened? And, they never had those conversations with themselves where they're like, I'm never going to be this or whatever. And they just somehow end up there. And a lot of times it gets too big of an obstacle for them to overcome. So it sounds like to me the things that work are, figuring out what you want, what you want that goal to be, being consistent with it, even if consistency means, a half a pound a week, a tenth of a pound a week, holding yourself accountable, not running from the scale. It's no different than
don't run from it. Get on it, because that's the only thing you know. Some people are like, I don't want to get on. No, get on it every morning. That's the first thing I do. Get on the scale.
Yeah.
And also,
but what happens when I get on that scale and it's higher than it was yesterday? And I feel like I did the right thing yesterday, but the scale's still higher.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't let that bring you down. Keep your internal motivation, keep the blinders on, and just keep working. Because it happens sometimes. Sometimes your weight fluctuates. It could be water. It could be something else. But just keep going. And
Mercury's in retrograde. That's one that might be used. one of the players might tell you, I'm a Saturn and Taurus is rising or something crazy. Like, your ass ate all that chicken yesterday. I saw you in the lunch line. So now that you're on the
what motivates me as well is my family. You know, because coming from low country, you know, a lot of people don't get on the scale. You know, a lot of people eat reckless, you know, and part of that is, you know, part of the genetics, part of it is just what you put in your body. But, you know, when I go home, you know, I want my family to see me, you know, as a healthy individual, and I want to motivate them, you know, to live a healthy lifestyle and to, you know, make certain changes in their lives.
Brain function, fuel. You know, when I look at you right now, man, I mean, you're young, and we're all young, but you definitely look like you're rolling back the clock because, again, you get in the movement every day. You obviously in the environment where you're living at, where you're working at is really exciting for you. Talk about just how much, you know, eating for functionality, for performance, for energy, because like I said, you're the checker, you're the energy dudes. Y'all guys, you know, you can be sneaking all the candy and it might not show up to the players, but you can't be lagging out there. And how much does food play a part in how your energy feels every day?
Good, you know, like breakfast, right? It's the most important meal, you know, so you got to sit down, you got to make sure you eat breakfast. You don't want to, you know, eat a late breakfast and then, you know, turn around and eat lunch quick and, you know, a big dinner. Like, I mean, eat a good breakfast. You know, breakfast is most important. Let's make sure that we get that in us. You know, I'm up early. I'm up at, you know, 4:30 every morning. So, you know, I usually have my coffee, you know, eat my breakfast around 6, and then, you know, we get the groups going. But, and that's another thing, you know, being a strength and conditioning coach, like you don't want to be a fat strength and conditioning coach. You know, you don't want to be a strength and conditioning coach who's trying to teach guys how to be strong, how to be fast, how to be flexible, and not be able to do it. You know, so all the programs I've been in, you know, we actually do the workouts that the players do, you know, because I want to feel how they're feeling. You know, I want to see, you know, I want to feel it. Like if they're sore, I want to be sore. So I say, okay, you know, I'm feeling a little sore. So, you know, that was good work. You know, you're also getting 20,000 steps in a day between lift groups. So that adds to your movement, you know, but also the cardio on top of that. You know, there's no telling how many. I mean, that's probably, you know, some days I look at my Apple Watch and it's 30,000 steps, you know, and I'm like, wow, that's a lot, you know. So that's cardio in itself, just working.
You continue to, man, that number is crazy, 30,000 steps in a day. But from an old strength coach, I used to ask certain guys like, man, do you still work out? And they'll be like, nah, I just get a set here when this group comes in and I hit a set over here, because y'all putting out so much output, man. That's really interesting. You talked about the step counter. How do you guys kind of like leverage technology right now to try to get kids to stay on top of educating themselves, tracking their food, even their hydration, their sleep? I mean, there's an app for everything now. You know, talk about how some of those things you do.
Here is the nutritionist handles a lot of that, Kristen Cognan. But when I was at Tennessee, we actually had something called a whoop band, and the guys whoop on, and it tracks like their energy expenditure throughout the day.
Okay.
Number 20, and then it tells you how much sleep you need to get at night. How much sleep you need to get at night, and the guys track it, and we can pull up on our computers and see who got, you know, whose recovery is at 30%, you know, because they didn't get a good night's sleep. Whose recovery is at 80% because they got the adequate hours, you know, to be able to recover. So, but here now we don't have, you know, a lot of that stuff. But at Tennessee, we definitely track a lot of that. A lot of that here is just nutritionists.
One of the simple things I heard, which helped Javon lose a bunch of weight, was like he just started taking pictures of everything he put into his mouth. And again, that's a roundabout way of being accountable, because for a lot of us, we'll blindly just put our hand in the bag, the bag is gone, or I'll blindly just keep spooning out the pot till the pot is gone. So again, that's that accountability thing that helps us. Is that something you guys try to keep going?
Yeah, Javon also did cardio, extra cardio, you know, every day. I mean, I did it with him. That's the thing, you know. That's what we tell some of these guys here, like the guys that want to come do cardio. I do it with you. You know, I'm not going to leave you hanging and just put you on there and say, let's do this. No, I'm going to do it with you. You know, me and Javon used to take laps around the stadium. Each is probably 2 times around Williams-Brice is 1 mile. So, you know, we keep track and we just walk around. We go inside the stadium, do some stairs, you know, but he did that every day because he knew, you know, he had goals. And look, now he's first round, you know, first round, and he's still playing. He's balling, you know, so he understood and he had the mental mindset to buy in, you know, and get it done.
That's the other thing. Go ahead, Pete.
I was just going to ask, you know, when you think about the idea of working out, especially as guys get older, you know, what does like a quality workout look for an older ex-athlete, you know, because I can't go in there and power clean and do all that stuff, you know, but like, what is it?
I would say, you don't even have to touch a barbell, you know, maybe if you want to bench press or hit some back squats, but, you know, I would say just grab a dumbbell, hit some type of shrug, hit some type of raise, you know, some type of bicep, some type of tricep and abs, some type of squat, goblet squats, reef elevated squats, you know, nothing, you don't have to touch a barbell. You know, you just get moving, get active, get your heart rate up, keep your heart rate up, and, you know, you'll burn some calories. Like,
yeah, you said something that I didn't really expect you to say. I thought y'all be like doing stadiums, but you said like Javon would walk some of the stadiums sometimes. So, you know, talk about the benefit of walking for like older guys, because it's usually boom or bust. Like I said, our attitude is like, man, either I'm going to run these hundreds and like I used to run back in 1998, or I'm not going to do nothing. And there's a lot of options in between all or nothing. And walking is one of the great ones.
Yeah, just get outside and walk. You know, get outside and walk. You know, I used to make fun of, you see the old ladies going through the mall, power walking and stuff. Hit a power walk. Like, you know, for older or, you know, ex-athletes, I feel like that's better than sprinting, you know, because what's the point of sprinting? What are you getting out of sprinting? Like, you going to go, you know, race somebody? No.
Pulled hamstring. That's what you're going
to do. Yeah, you can pull hamstring. Yeah, just go out, you know, hit a power walk. Hit a nice power walk. Get your heart rate up. Get a good sweat going outside in this Carolina heat. You know, and make it a routine. It doesn't have to be every day. You know, it could be a 3-day split, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It could be every other day, you know. Monday, Wednesday, you know, Saturday or something like that. Just get out and do it and be consistent with it, and that'll make a big difference. You know, just getting those steps in, staying moving, burning calories. You know, get on the treadmill, go for a walk. You know, put the incline at 6.0, put the speed at 3.0. Like that's a good burn that you're gonna get, the uphill burn. You know, to burn some calories.
Another thing you just talked about, these old ladies, it's not usually one, it's usually a group of them. And so, you know, usually you'll see a group of fat people together, you'll see a group of skinny people together. And so rarely will you see those two intermix together unless it's a certain function. How important is it to like surround yourself?
I was just about to say, surround yourself with people who are going to hold you accountable and who are going to motivate you to be great. You know, like that's it. You know, hold yourself accountable. I mean, get with people that's, you know, guess at the same vision as you. You know, friends that are going to keep it real with you. You know, I know if I came to my group of friends and I was, you know, a little like, you know, up a little bit or a little chunky in the face, they look at me and say, "Dang, boy, what you been doing?" You know, I say, "Hold on now, like you getting a little big." You know, I mean, you keep it real. Like you got to have tough skin. You got to keep it real. That's what, you know, Coach Lauren did for me. He was like, "Dang, Byron, like, you know, we got to get this up off you."
Right. And I imagine that has to be tough because there's a lot of players, like we said, they come from families that if you look at them, if you took football out the picture, mama and daddy, if you looked at them, they're obese, they're overweight. Yeah. And so to try to get them to change that mindset and it always feels to me for y'all got a tough job because you're trying to get them to change habits, get them to change family culture, recipes. You know, every time this happened, we always eat this fried chicken or whatever. And that's what that kid will go to when he's going to be sad, depressed. And we know his first year on campus, it's not all going to be roses for them. So
nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with, you know, I mean, I treat myself to fried chicken, you know, I like Zestos, you know, like Taco Tuesday, you know, I treat myself to stuff, but it's just a matter of being active, you know, being active and working out and being consistent with the way you train and the way you live your life, you know. But on the weekends, you know, treat yourself. If you had a good week, you know, you worked out every day and you know, put the right things in your body every day, then, you know, Saturday you might go out and, you know, get a burger or something like that. But you're not going to get two, you know, you're not going to get fries. Maybe take the fries out and get a side salad, You know, little things
that's the problem. That's the issue. I keep hearing you say treat yourself, and I'm thinking, okay, I can have 24 wings instead of just the 6. Like that's the issue for a lot of us.
Yeah, I understand that.
The portion control is an issue for us, right? Because a lot of us don't understand that.
Yeah, and I would say treat yourself, but when I do treat myself, I would still cut back. Treat myself to some wings. I'm gonna have, instead of fries with it, have a side salad. Eat the celery and the carrots that come with the wings.
You don't have to not just throw those away, man. You can actually eat those. All right. So I like this idea of treat day, cheat day, treat day, cheat day. What's your treat day for you when it comes time to it? You had a great weekend. You've been getting 50,000 steps every day. You ain't got it. Y'all don't have to recruit anybody, so you kind of got the weekend off. What's a nice treat day look like for you?
I would say a good homemade meal. I like to cook. I love to cook. I would sometimes I text my mom a lot, and I'm like, "Hey, what's the recipe for this?" Or chicken. Like, send me the recipe for that stewed chicken that you made, or the good low country broil. Maybe some fried whiting or something like that. That's my go-to. I like to have a taste of home every now and then. So usually on my cheat day, I'll actually cook. I'm not a big fast food guy. I'm a big cooker. If I wasn't a coach, I'd probably be a chef, honestly.
Oh, awesome, man. What's the best thing you think Byron Jerideau can cook? Somebody had to pay you for that. What do you think? What would that recipe be? What would it be?
I would say my chicken dumplings.
Okay. Run it down for me. You don't have to give us all the secrets, but I can't
get the recipe now. I can't get the recipe.
You got? Do you have like the roux and the gravy and all that stuff together, man? So it's not runny.
The mixed veggies, the dumpling, homemade dumplings, everything. It's great. And that's actually one of my recipes that I came up with. So.
Okay, and that's another great thing is that it sounds like you're exploring, recipes, not leaning on convenience too much, because if you can cook it at home, you can control what goes into it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's one thing I'm huge on is like, if I am going to eat something, I'm going to treat myself. I want it to be something that I can control how it tastes, because I want it to taste how I want it to taste. I don't want to pay for something, and then you look at it and you're like, man, this ain't even that good. Why am I getting this? If I get it, it's going to be good. And if I cook it, it's going to be good.
And that's what gets me on the salad sometimes, because they got the fancy salad places, all the places. And there's a lot of places you can get a cheaper quality salad. But I went to a place the other day and I was like, man, the salad's $16 and all it is just a bed of greens and half a chicken breast. I don't even think they gave me the whole chicken breast. And then that's when it's just like, man, what I could have got for $16 from Bojangles or Chick-fil-A?
We got a whole 10-piece.
Yeah. I could have got 2 for $1 on this certain day. And that's the thing that I think a lot of us, especially as we get away from football and away from those on the field goals and more so just, living goals, is that you got to figure out, man, what's really going to be important to you. Like you said, the functionality, your wallet, all these different things. A lot of us got kids, trying to figure that out, trying to balance out a home life. Your wife said you dead set on being low carb, and your wife is like, I'm eating pizza tonight. I don't give a damn what y'all talking about. Yeah.
And I will say my wife has been a big motivator as well, because she lost 60 pounds in the past 4 years, herself. And that didn't happen overnight. It's from little changes, and, we actually hold each other accountable. We hold each other accountable, and, I'll talk some trash to her about eating something, and she'll do the same to me, but at the end of the day, we're going to, make sure we're putting the right things in our body. And, a lot of things with salad is people have salads, but it's I look back to, college, and I'll make a salad and I'll put all the bacon and croutons and load it up with dressing, different types of dressing and honey mustard and all this stuff. But it's pointless. You put in good stuff. It's pointless when you have all that on there, so cut back on the croutons with your carbs, cut back on the bacon, maybe measure the amount of dressing that you put on there, and then it's worth it. But it doesn't make sense to get a salad and have all this stuff on it, because, then you might as well, the calorie count is the same as, a burger.
Yeah, it turned into tuna. It turned into mayonnaise salad with all the stuff, like you said, man. Like the saturated fat goes through the stuff. So it's about the education too. It sounds like, because again, you keep throwing out all these words, good fats and and all these different things. You know, how do you stay on top of that? Do you approach it the same way as you would with football? Like when you get into this thread, you just get really interested into defensive linemen and you want to be a great defensive lineman. So you study what they do. Is that kind of the same approach you take to nutrition? Because we all know all strength coaches don't really care about nutrition. Sometimes they just care about, you know, output and, you know, I'll work this shit off you. If you give me enough time, I'll get it up off you. If you know, I don't care what you're putting in your mouth.
Man, nutrition is way more important than strength coaching, honestly. You know, like I would say 70% of it is nutrition and the other 30 is strength and conditioning, you know, because it doesn't make sense to train all day, train hard, and then go put bad things in your body. Like you're getting nothing out of your training if you don't put the right things in your body. So, and, you know, coaches always say that. I know Coach Day always says that as well, is that, you know, it's like nutrition is way more important and everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to be echoing, you know, the same things to the players as far as, you know, what's important and they'll buy in, you know, but that's what it takes. Like everybody has a goal and everybody has to make their goal, you know, and that's the bottom line.
That's something that you can really apply in your household if you're an older dude or you hadn't played in a long time, is that, you know, everybody's goal in the house ain't going to be the same. Mama's goal might be to get into the swimsuit. You might just want to make sure the kids can go to bed at 9 o'clock and they're not wound up off of sugar. Your whole deal might be blood sugar, but everybody is still holding themselves accountable. And that's something that's really applicable when you're talking about just trying to, because there's no difference between the locker room and your family. I mean, it's all a bunch of different characters, a bunch of people you love and you hate sometimes, but we all got. So all of that is really important to try to set that up, especially if you're a transitioning player, if you're somebody older, is to set it up the same way in your household.
Yeah, you have to because you want to live a long time. You know, you see a lot of people who have unhealthy lifestyles and, you know, they think it's not going to catch up to them, you know, and then it eventually catches up. And eventually it's going to show, you know.
That's one of the things you talked about earlier, is that you're going to pay the price for it. And so, you know, you can pay the dollar menu now, but you'll pay it, you know, 1,000 times in the doctor later, or, you know, you got high blood pressure and, you know, that damn prescription every month is you getting your money back. You getting your money's worth. Yeah, you getting your money's worth, and, you know, and use your family as your motivation. You know, if you got kids or you got a wife, you're like, man, like I don't want to be one of these people that you know, leave this earth early. You know, I want to be with you forever. You know, as long as you're here, so I'm gonna do the right things now. That's what can motivate you outside of football. You know, when you're done playing, when you're, you know, what's gonna motivate you? Your family. Like, look at your kids and say, man, like, you know, I really want to watch you grow up and see your kids. Think about that, you know, before you put something in your body every day. Before you put it in your body every day, just, man, you know, I want to be here for you. So I'm gonna do the right things now to make sure. I'm gonna do the right things right now to make sure that I can make that happen. That's a great point, man, because again, you find a big enough why, and that comes back to yourself trying to figure out what will get you going. So you're probably as light as you've been in a long, long time. I'll venture to say high school.
Light as I've been since high school. Absolutely.
You had to pass 290, getting up to 370. So at some point you was that. I mean, I give you that. I won't bury you.
Since 2006.
2006. So did you get rid of all the clothes? Did you say, man, I'm not going back? Or
it's sad because, you know, I'll sit there and, you know, I have some nice clothes. You know, I have some nice clothes that I've accumulated throughout the years. And I'm like, man, like this is 3X. I can't even wear that no more. You know, these jeans are 52, you know, and now I'm a 38 now. I'm like, man, I can't even put this on, you know. So I'm like, I usually, you know, put a box together and just take it to Goodwill. I'm like, there you go, or you know, Salvation Army or somewhere. I'm like, here you go. Nice.
So do you enjoy clothes shopping now? Because it was tough for us before, because you'd have to order your stuff. You'd be like, exactly. I'm gonna be fresh for school, but I ain't going to the mall to get my stuff. I gotta order my shit online.
I would say it's good not having to go to the big and tall section. You know, I always joke around to my friends. I'm like, man, like they be like, what size are you? 3X? I'm like, man, don't try me. Like I work hard to get in this 2X now. I work hard to get in this 2X.
It's tight in the right place, and the arms and the shoulders. They ain't tight around the gut. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
Yeah, that's that's always the little wins that you miss out on, man, and that you don't think you would enjoy, but to your point, it's like, man, I feel like I kind of wasted all these sweaters and stuff because one, I was buying them too big to begin with, but like, you know, it's a tough deal.
You can buy new clothes, you can't buy a new life.
It's a great point. So what does health look like for Coach Jerideau, Byron Jerideau, the person now? I mean, it's not going to be, is it going to be the 6-pack? Is it going to be a certain number on the weight? Is it going to be, you want to get into the 36, 32s? What's the goal for you?
I would say just I've been maintaining right now, but you know, I feel like I feel like by I say end of the year, into 2021, I want to try and get about 280, and I do abs every day. Obviously, I got a 2-pack right now. But, I want to turn it into a 4 or 6-pack.
Okay. Something you see from the side a little bit.
Yeah, continue to lean out, but also, keeping my strength.
Is there a fitness goal you like? Some folks want to lose the weight to run a marathon or do a mud run, or some of the dudes we talked to, they climbed Mount Kilimanjaro and they did that for a charity event. Is there a physical kind of deal you're looking for?
Not really. I mean, I don't even like, some people go out and run a mile and time it and all that stuff. I got into that last year, but I get more out of sprinting and, walking and stuff like that. So I would just say just being consistent and make sure I hold myself accountable for training, my 3 times a week, make sure I get my Monday, Wednesday, Friday and do my hard cardio Tuesday, Thursday, and, just being consistent. Little things as far as diet, but nothing major. I'm not climbing no mountains or nothing.
yeah, not doing that. Not walking from the low country all the way to Charlotte and nothing crazy like that to raise awareness.
You give me some ideas now. I'm trying how long it would take me to walk to the low country.
That might be something. I'm sure there's somebody out there who might sponsor that with the idea for that. Yeah. This is great, man. It flies by. We like to get into this little like fast, quick round of just, good questions. You talked about getting up to that certain weight. Was it the fried foods that got you? Was it the sweets got you? Are you a fried foods guy? You a sweets guy? You a breads guy? It don't matter what it is, you just gonna eat it all guy? Like what how would you describe your feeding habits when you were really into it?
I was really into it. I would say it was a mix of all that. It was the sweets, it was the candy, it was the fast food. Not even necessarily fried food. It was just the fast food in general. And not really monitoring what you put in your body, but also not being consistent with your cardio.
Okay. What's your 3 top fast food spots? Back the old Byron, not the new Byron, the old
Byron, I would say McDonald's.
Okay.
Second one would probably be, I don't think of where I was. Kansas, because that was the worst. I would say it was McDonald's, it was Taco Bell, and probably Subway.
Okay.
For some people, Subway, and they're like, oh, Subway, but Subway, it's a lot of bread, a lot of carbs in that.
That sweet chicken teriyaki can get to be a
teriyaki. Nice getting to put the sweet onion sauce on there, load it up, man. It was.
But like you were saying with the salad, though, man, it can go from healthy quick. Like, yeah, put that on wheat, but like you got 10 different cheeses, you added bacon, you doubled the meat, you got the sweet teriyaki sauce, and
exactly.
Before you know it, you got 60 grams of carbs and sugar on a sandwich that was supposed to be, a light.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Who got the best fast food French fries for you?
Arby's
and
curly fries.
Arby's has been so consistent, man. That's all everybody keeps screaming out. Like it's
really,
it's a seasoned fry. It's either O'Reilly's, Checkers, or Arby's, man. Yeah. Everybody screams that out. McDonald's, of course, comes in third. I think that's nostalgia. We all remember that. What you beating up off of that Taco Bell menu? Because I'm a reformed Taco Bell aholic. I've been through the 12-step program, and I've gotten off the Taco Bell junk for about 10 years now. So what do you what
Some
would
type
you
of
get up?
burrito, whatever type of burritos they had. I forgot the name of it actually, but it was just like a really thick burrito.
Was it the 7-layer joint? Was we doing that then? Was you around for that?
I think it was that. It was a 7-layer burrito and big old Mountain Dew with it, full of sugar.
Okay. Okay. So you were a soda guy too. You didn't
I was. Yeah, I was.
Okay. Did it matter what the soda was, or were you specifically a Mountain Dew Sprite guy? Because I was always just like straight Sprite or 7-Up. You know what I'm saying?
I say Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
It's probably the worst soda out there besides Coke.
And now it amazes me because now they got all the Mountain Dew neons now.
Different flavors and the slushies and Mountain Dew slushies now. You're like, dang.
I mean, what flavor is Mountain Dew anyway? It's not Sprite. It's not,
citrus.
Citrusy. It's citrus-ish.
Yeah.
Swedish citrusy. Okay.
Cake or pie? Cake or pie?
Man, I gotta go with pie.
Pie? You eating this pie just by itself, or you always got to put that ice cream on that thing?
Potato pie. If you have apple pie, you got to put ice cream on there.
Okay.
Pecan pie.
Okay. Were you coming again a low country? Was it more bread pudding, that type of deal, or was it more like Chewy's for y'all on y'all side where y'all was at?
Bread pudding.
Okay. You like a little where you take the raisins and whatnot into your bread pudding. There's some people who are bread pudding snobs, and they like, man, don't put no fruit in my bread pudding. I don't like that.
I don't think we have raisins in ours. So.
Man, there's a few folks that put some. Maybe that was the more bougie side. Of course, I always tell the story of what's your lady? She uses Day-O Krispy Kreme donuts to make her bread pudding, man.
Oh wow!
And that thing is like you can feel your heart slowing down when you eat that. You a wings guy, or is it more drums or flats for you?
I say flats.
Flats, all right.
Yeah, because you could just take the whole thing, put it in there, and just pull it out, and it's just the bone. With the drums, you got to work your way around it. So that then it's
around it. I like
flats.
Blue cheese or ranch?
Blue cheese.
Okay. All right. Is who got the best wings since you talking Columbia, and I come to Columbia as a player? Who got the best wings in Columbia?
Here in Columbia, right now, I'm a Zesto's guy. Big Zesto's guy. So
I like it.
Yeah, Zesto's got some good wings.
Yeah, love a Zesto's, man, and always love when you walk up in there, man. They know your name and know your order. That can be a good thing and a bad thing, man, because you always got to battle on. You got to be like, man, I'm on a diet now. I came to get the grilled chicken sandwich, so.
Yeah,
that's probably when they be like, man, you don't come to Zesto's for that. You come to Zesto's for these chicken wings, bro. You don't come for nothing else.
Yeah.
What's the one cheat meal that you're trying to figure out how to perfect at home right now to get it it's not perfect for you just right, but you figure, is it you trying to figure out how to make that apple pie? Is it you trying to figure out how to make those wings kind of like Zesto's, but in the air fryer at the house? Is there something you've been working on to just try to get it just right now?
Not really. That's tough because I'm a perfectionist, so usually it's trial by error. But I'm like I said, I'm a really good cook, so that's everything I make. Even if I try to make it, if I read the recipe, I'll take the recipe, but I'll put my own little twang on it, and it turns out pretty good. Yeah.
That's the one thing you learn in football, man. Like we all mimic somebody. We all take a little bit from somebody. This guy's technique. I'm not a pass rusher like him, but I can do that move. And so you just taking that same skill set and applying it to something you enjoy.
I read the recipe and I'm like, okay, well, they didn't have the right seasonings, and I'll put the seasonings that I know I like in it, and come out pretty good. But I'm a chef.
Okay. I like it. Again, like we always say, most big dudes, you either gonna fall victim to living out that corner store, or you figured out really early that you got to cook for yourself, because you just don't get to be 300 pounds. Just this ain't all McDonald's now. I had to cook some of this up myself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome, man. Couple more questions. If there was
one,
what you got?
Being from the Low Country, is there any seafood that you don't mess with?
No, I say frog legs.
Okay.
You know, some people like frog legs, and I mean, I guess that ain't seafood, but it's in the water, you know, and fresh water. But you know, I eat everything: shark, you know, whiting, cobia, shrimp, conch, you know, oysters, everything.
Keep weighing everything. You gonna eat the stingray and everything, huh?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Man,
Well, I don't think I ever had no stingray.
My partner, he'll do that, and like he showed me the trick. They take a pipe and they bust it up with little, make it like, because it's like scallops.
Yeah.
So you don't know if it's, you know, scallops or whatever. But man, I always tell, man, I'm the dude from the low country that ain't eating no fish, because I ate so much fish one time, just ruined it for me. It was just
Really?
like, yeah. I'll eat everything, but man, that's what happened when your daddy leave you with all the fish and all the bread, and he's like, man, I'll be back. Have as much as you want. And you mess around and eat it all. You be like, man, I hate fish now because, but you know, maybe one day I'll come back around to it. If there was no caloric repercussions, what's something that Byron Jerideau would eat every day if there was no calorie impact, if it wasn't going to raise your blood sugar, wasn't going to make you have the diabetes or nothing, what would it be? I
would say sweet potato pie.
Really?
Yeah, sweet potato pie. My mom, she makes the best sweet potato pie. I know everybody says my mom made the best. Yeah, my mom, her sweet potato pie is really good. She has a really good recipe, and you know, that's something that I could definitely eat every day. Actually, I'm pretty sure I got like 2 of them in the freezer in Knoxville. My wife got, you know, because whenever she makes them, she might overnight them or, you know, mail them, and I just, you know, I cut it up in slices and I put it in the freezer, and every now and then I'll pull out a slice out of the freezer, and it's just as good as new.
Well, see, that's the discipline I'm talking about. That's the discipline. You cut it up in slices before. See, I would have just put the whole thing in. And of course, once you take it out, you got to eat the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. Once you take it out, you're like, okay, I can't, you know, you have it in the fridge for the week and then you just eating it throughout the week. But if you put it slice by slice, then you're like, okay, maybe slice.
Wow.
Man, have you attempted to make Mom's Dukes' sweet potato pie? I mean, are you just like, I'm not even going to attempt?
Not even going to try it because I know it wouldn't be the same.
Again, it's that little bit of love, man. You know, a little bit of mom essence that makes it just like, I just can't get this right. Okay, if that's the thing you would eat every day, how much would you pay to eat that every day? If you could, would you set it up? Would you pay a monthly reoccurring fee to be able to eat that every day? Would you pay a flat fee of like $20,000 one time to have this for the rest of your life?
With no consequences? Like with no caloric consequences?
Yeah, for your mom's sweet potato pie. I mean,
it's so good. Yeah, I would pay. You know, I say I pay. I can't. You can't put a price with it. I mean, it's priceless just to hang with it.
Saying, would you give up 10% of that Gamecock salary to get that sweet potato pie?
No, it wouldn't be. That's when I try to make it. I'll try to make it or knock off. I make a great value brand of it.
This is what Byron's mom will go hear and be like, I thought you said this was the best ever. You love it. Now you.
I like money more.
I like it, man. I like it. You got any more questions, P, man? This was great, man.
No, I'm good, man. We appreciate your time, brother.
Appreciate y'all having me on.